All right, you guys, welcome to our special class tonight. We are going to be talking about all of the results that have come in over the last 30 days. We've had a lot of us who have been using castor oil, and who knew? Like, first thing right out the gate, I'm going to say, who knew castor oil was used for so many different things? I know as a little girl, I was exposed to it a lot, and then, over time, we've just kind of stopped using it in our household. And I don't know if it's just because we stopped using it because of the quality, or we just weren't able to get access to castor oil that was the same. But the results are in for our contests or our challenges. And, I'm just going to kind of go over a little bit of review, and then we're going to open up for different testimonials and what you guys experienced. At the very end, you'll want to stay connected because we are going to give away some prizes for both my challenge and Sarah's challenge because heck, we're all a part of the Good Vibes team, and we're all super grateful that you guys are here. And I love that this is how we learn. So, welcome, welcome, you guys. If you guys are just joining us, or whether you're watching the replay, this recording will be available on YouTube and also in our Good Vibes page, so that we'll be able to go back and reflect on it and be able to see, all the amazing things that people have been able to use castor oil for. I want to also just do a huge shout out for Sarah. I'm going to have her come on in just a second and just kind of give an overview of what their results were, and then we'll go back into some of this. But before we get going, I just want to go through a couple of slides. The first one is other people may claim that their stuff is the same as ours. As we know with essential oils, it couldn't be farther from the difference, right? And just like comparing a fresh bowl of organic, fresh fruit, it's like comparing an essential oil to one that you might find in a grocery store or gas station or health food store. They can claim one thing, but that doesn't mean that they're the same. Essential oils, I love on the bottom, I've got a picture of motor oil because literally, in order for it to be 100% pure essential oil, all it needs to do is have 6% in that bottle. And the rest can be anything that they want. They don't have to tell us. So when we're talking about castor oil, why does ours stand out? What is the difference? And I know I'm pretty sure most everybody here used doTERRA's castor oil in this challenge. And if you were already using a brand of castor oil, we asked you to, be able to set it aside, use our castor oil so you can really see what the difference is. And I can tell you, just with the people that I've spoke to, there's been a huge difference in the results that they're getting very quickly, the result in the way that their skin has felt, and all of the different ways they've been able to use it. So you guys, as I go through these slides, just go ahead and take a snapshot of them or just kind of look at them. I'm not going to go through each one, but I do want to. I love this slide because it does talk about this is the castor oil that is more like what your grandma had. It's back to the natural uh, way that castor oil was taken from the plant. There's nothing added to it, there's nothing taken away from it. It's something that you can rely on every single time you open up the bottle. You've got something that is CPTG certified. It comes in an amber glass on purpose so that nothing can taint it. I love the sun, and the sun is at a solar flare right now where it's just putting all kinds of energy out there. And that's how we get our energy and our nutrients is from the sun. And so that really is the only thing that can take that back away. And that's why doTERRA has a amber colored glass. We also do a third party test, which I think is always really important. And then the thing that is makes castor oil stand out is it's composed of over 80% ricinoleic acid. You guys, I've got to learn it, which is a unique fatty acid that is only found in this plant and no other place. So research has shown that it can help, nourish our body, give us moisture into the skin. So if you have, dry skin, maybe cracked heels, or maybe during different seasons your face gets drier or something, castor oil is going to be really amazing at being able to offer it the support and be able to hold that moisture into your skin. And I know we've got some testimonials that are going to talk about that really quick or in just a minute. So there are also three different ways that we can use castor oil. People can put that, directly on their skin using topical application with a roller bottle. A lot of people that I and teaching and hanging out with, they're using like a 30 or a 50 ml roller because it's a lot larger, and that way you can, because people are using it on their entire, on all of their legs, and they're, rubbing it on areas of discomfort. If you guys also, a great way to use it is in a dropper bottle. Now, I know that our great big bottle that we get, that it comes in, it could be a little bit, harder to use or harder to limit how much oil comes out. So a lot of people have been putting it into a smaller dropper bottle and then just being able to drop that oil directly into your belly button, or putting it on the patch that you're using and then applying it to where you need it. Now, here's a great picture, you guys. Everything from, your hair to deep skin moisturizing. I know one of the things as we were doing this challenge, people were like, oh, I've not tried it on my face yet. How many of you guys were a little leery about using it on your face, under your eyes? And then after you tried it, you're going, oh gosh, that is so nice. I actually had a gal come in and she's like, no, you got to try it. You got to fill this part of my face and then fill underneath my eyes where I've applied the castor oil every night. And you could visibly see the difference in her skin, but then touching it, it was baby soft. So another thing I want to just kind of point out in different ways to use it is a lot of us have been using just a little patch that goes over your belly button. This is designed to, keep the castor oil in one spot, which we've talked a lot about the benefits of using castor oil in your belly button and how it has where all of your nerve endings are. And that is where your vagus nerve is. Plus, it's like a great delivery to your whole body. And so simply being able to drop an essential oil, which maximizes the use of the castor oil, and then putting that on. Now, we do have quite a few men. My son is now doing it. My husband's doing it. And they're going, okay, we got hair around our belly buttons. What are we supposed to do? So I told him, I said, just get a pack. Just get a pack and target that area. You could also, just put the pack on or a patch on, and then you're able to use like a wrap, like you could use a gauze bandage like you would if you had an injured arm or something, and you could wrap it on and just keep it in place that way without having to have any kind of sticky. You'll always want to make sure, you guys, that you're using something that is organic. I love organic cotton. Because, well, you don't want to add any extra chemicals or different things or plastics for sure. One person said, "Oh, I'm just going to use a Band-Aid. I've got these little round Band-Aids," and it's like, if we're using essential oils with the Band-Aid and the little cotton pack or patch that's on a Band-Aid, once it's saturated, if it gets onto that plastic part, I've seen where it's caused really bad skin irritation. So you'll just want to make sure that you're using what's best for you. And there are so many different things out there. You guys, we also use them for, stomach issues. We've had a lot of people use them for pain and respiratory support. One of my favorite things that we've made is a lip gloss using castor oil. And so we'll talk about that in just a second also. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm going to go back a slide. And before we get to some of the results and going through them, Sarah, would you like to come on and kind of give us an overview of your challenge and what people experienced?
Sure. I have a ton. It was phenomenal. I just wanted to clap for everyone again because it was 30 days of staying committed and consistency and choosing them and showing seeing these women. And I had 16 that showed up every single day, did not fail. And it was absolutely phenomenal. It was, I guess you could say, empowering because there was a point in my journey that we were having some life happen. And it was really incredible to see all these women continue to show up, including my family, knowing that this castor oil was doing its job. And even while in the hospital, we were still using it because we knew how powerful it was. Just one product, castor oil. We were not even talking about Revitazen. To see the changes and to hear the testimonies, I was blown away by a lot of them. And I have some printed here that couldn't be here tonight. And I just want to highlight, I do have 7 of the women here tonight that have participated. And They did all 30 days, and it was super, super exciting to see all of that because it takes a lot. It's a commitment. It really is. And to see those changes, and we've heard, what it takes to form a habit, and we now know this habit has been formed.
It's so good, you guys. And so Sarah was going on live every single day for the entire month, giving, all right, you guys, who did it? How did you do it? And then she was asking different questions and people were commenting. And like she mentioned, I think it was Revitazen that they were putting in the belly, but they didn't have to do that one and they could use other ones too, right, Sarah?
Yep.
Yeah. And then as you're saying, it's like life did happen, like really happened during this challenge. And I loved being able to see all of your family just kind of come together. And I don't think you even missed a day. Like you kept doing this challenge. And I just want to say how easy it is to be distracted and how easy it is to go, you know what? I've committed to this and I'm doing it. And I know some of the gals and some of the people here tonight really did have some great things happen during the challenge you guys, I'm going to just say, so I think we had about 70 people total, whether it was on our Facebook group and we have guides that people could go in every day and check, or we were also sending out a text and an email with different things. And so where Sarah was really concentrated on it, belly every day, belly button, belly button, belly button. We were doing belly button, but we were trying to educate on all the different things with recipes and stuff that people could use. Sarah, do you want to share a couple of your testimonials that for the people that couldn't make it tonight?
I do. And then I already have labeled 8 of these women, so there's 8 now that are going to come on and they are going to briefly do their testimony. Even if they don't show their face, I've challenged them all. I said, if we're going to finish this challenge, you're going to finish big. So I'm like, we're going to go big or go home.
So
I
one
have
thing we're
one.
gonna, Sarah, one thing after we'll do the live ones after when we don't have slides, then I'll open it up so people can see their testimonial if that's okay. So we'll go over
Yeah,
the ones that aren't here first, and then we'll go back to the ones that are here.
perfect. Okay, I will start with one. Her name, I'm allowed to say their names. Her name is Wendy Elliott. She is one that we've had, she's been a customer, and it's so cool because she said, Sarah, I've never been consistent with anything in my entire life. She's in her 60s and she said, I'll start something and I quit usually day 5. I just do. And she goes, it was you showing up day in and day out. So just lead by example is what my encouragement is for everyone. But she said, I started using castor oil on the 1st of November in my belly button, on my face, and by massaging it into my wrists, hands, and knees to help with inflammation. Over the month, I've noticed better digestion, longer, deeper sleep, softer skin, and less pain in my joints. I was very skeptical to start with, but I'm a believer now. I've also got 2 daughters who swear by it as a hair moisturizer, which I will be trying next. So
Hmm.
that was super neat to hear. This one, her name is Casey. She said, right away within the first few nights, I noticed that I fell asleep more quickly and actually stayed asleep. I have 3 young kiddos, and it was severe cold season in our house this month, so I did have to wake up and take care of the kids throughout the night. Normally, I will lay awake for an hour after going down and up and down the stairs to care for them. But this month, I went back to sleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. Pure bliss. Next, I noticed that a large red mole that I've had since my last pregnancy 4 years ago started to shrink. It hasn't changed size in years. I've had it checked over a few years ago and was told the end of a blood vessel, so it's red and gross looking. Nothing they could do. Laugh out loud. So happy yet really shocked to see that thing is actually shrinking and has fallen off. It's still a little bit, or almost to fall off. It's still there, but very small and less obnoxious. Lastly, I noticed this mostly is last week. My skin feels so much better. Usually in the winter, I have really dry, itchy skin, and right now I feel no dryness on it at all. Just nice and smooth. I have definitely been recommending this method to others. Thank you so much, Sarah, for guiding us through this process and keeping us accountable. Yeah.
Love it. Those are so good. I mean, and they're not just like, oh, I noticed a little something different. They're big things that, people have been experiencing for a very long time and nothing else changed. And that's the best part about doing something on for a challenge of at least, 10 days or, 15 days or a month is when you are consistent with doing something like that over time, you're 100% going to notice something. And just depending on each person's body, it might be like the 7th or 8th day before you notice anything different. Plus, let's be honest, most of us are so busy just being busy that we're not paying attention to the little things like, gosh, did I get more sleep? And I mean, I think it's really, really great. So on this slide right here, you guys, we have multiples. Like I just kind of did screenshots and had them in here, but I think if you look at this, you'll see overall people really talked more about getting better rest. And when we get better rest, we have more energy. Definitely. And I think on a scale from 1 to 5 at the end is what I was like, okay, tell us on a scale from 1 to 5, when you started, did you notice it going up? Or, did it get worse? Or just keep us, keep paying attention to it. Other people really talked a lot about their digestive system and whether they used essential oils or just used the castor oil, it really did kind of make the difference in if they had a quick response or if it took a little bit longer. Now, I know for myself, I've been using Revitazen very faithfully for, I'm going to say about 2 of the weeks and just putting it across my belly, in my belly button, and then using, the castor oil pack. And I'm using it more across my whole belly. And you guys, I feel um like I'm gonna say like bloating and just having more energy, sleeping way better, sleeping sound for longer periods of time. It's like last night I woke up, I'd gone to bed early because I haven't felt good, and I went to bed about 8. By 11:30, I woke up feeling completely rested, like, okay, it's time to get up and get going. And I knew I couldn't do that, right? Because I needed to go back to sleep. And I did. I was able to go right back to sleep. And so, whether we are wanting to slow things down in our digestive system or speed things up, we know that when we just use castor oil, that's great. If you want something extra supportive, you could use Tamer, you could use peppermint, you could use all kinds of different things. And I know we've got some really great testimonials coming up at the end of what people are doing for that will might surprise you with their results. Okay, so I want to just talk about skin really quick. So here's a couple. So we did our skin glow. You guys, the skin glow recipe I've been using for a very long time. I absolutely love it. I use it on my skin every single day. And I just got done making a new batch and I've added castor oil into it because I've been really putting castor oil just a little bit. And when we're talking the use of castor oil, how many of you guys found you could use a little tiny bit and it would go a long ways? And so, and I also love, and I will recommend that if castor oil is a little thick or you're not quite ready for it, or gosh, I want to use it, but I'm not sure if I want to put it on my face, what's going to happen to my skin, or, then mix it with a little bit of your moisturizer, like do a half and half, or take your nighttime moisturizer and just add a drop or two of the castor oil and just see what the difference is. And if you're brave, do one side of your face and not the other. Or my husband's favorite thing to do is the back of his hands. He'll do one thing on one hand and one thing on the other. So he's actually he was cutting down some trees this week and has a bunch of, looks like he got in a fight with the tree, big scratches. And so he's been putting castor oil on it on one hand. And then on the other hand, he's been putting Immortel. He's just rolling the Immortel on and then the castor oil. You guys, if both of them are improving very quickly, but the one with the Immortel is you can barely tell there was any scratches. And that was only from 3 days ago. So really, really good. Let's see, we have my skin feels softer. Another one, my skin seems to be softer. My skin has never looked or felt better. I use it morning and night and love the appearance of my skin. These are all different people who are getting different results, but the main thing is their skin is healthier and happier, right? And I think that so things that are trending right now is shiny skin and really shiny lips. And castor oil helps to provide both of those in your daily routine. And so I think that's awesome. Sarah, do you want to add anything here?
I actually get a ton of compliments, and people think that my skin is dewy, is what they call it. And I've used castor oil on my face for a very, very long time. And I've talked about it on my lives that I have used a different brand for years and thought it was the best brand because it was super expensive. Like a lot of people know about it. My mom has used it. And so when this first came out, Luke actually said, he goes, maybe don't talk about it. Let's make sure you actually like it compared to your old one. And within 14 days, because I had a little calendar, it was completely different. I could use less. The difference in, I guess you could say, like when you feel the dewiness, like if it's soft feeling, that was completely different. So I'm just letting you know it does matter what you use. It does.
It's a huge difference. And I think when, some of the castor oils that I've used in the past year, again, really great brands, things that people have liked. I never did put them on my face because they were thicker and stickier. And when you're going, you pat your face a little and you're going, okay, is it nice and soft or is it sticky? Does it go into the skin? And castor oil does take a little bit longer to go into the skin. But it holds that natural moisture and elasticity into your skin naturally. So you guys, I would just say, go for the side of your cheek or do something. Do the back of your hands, right? That's a really great way to tell or test for yourself because you can look at both of your hands and just use it on the back of one and not the other for 4 or 5 days and just see the difference. Okay, here is our recipe for our luscious lips. You guys, this stuff is delicious. So it has that little bit of peppermint and that little cassia and cinnamon. So it actually feels like a natural lip plumper and has a really great tingle, and yet it's very hydrated at the same time. Now, on the right-hand side, we have a recipe for hair. So that was the one thing. So people were willing to put it on their face and on their skin, but we had most resistance to, I'm not doing it on my hair. That's a lot. I don't need greasy, oily hair. And you guys, people who tried it really, really loved the way that their hair felt and the results. If you're worried about it, just do a test patch, do it, just like a little piece of it before you get to bed at night and or do it onto your scalp. I love being able to partner it with some essential oils that help to nourish our scalp and nourish like our thoughts and everything else. The one thing that I would add to this recipe on the right after going to the doctor's panel that I was able to go to is I would add a little bit of Spanish sage to the scalp one. It's super nourishing and and all of these oils, you guys, rosemary is great for mind and cedarwood is great for your hair cuticles or follicles. You've got lavender, and then that Spanish sage is going to be really great for your thought process, that's where everything is right here, right? So, why not? So, really good. So, we have, some testimonials that say it really does help with an itchy scalp. So you guys can also customize your oils depending on what is going on with your scalp. If you have an oily scalp, maybe your hair is, or your oil glands are very productive, then using things like grapefruit or purify and adding that in there is going to really help it. This testimony is gave myself a good head massage with rosemary, and it was lovely. So you guys, the sky's the limit, and you'll see as we go through this, and as you learn and experience more, you're gonna go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I think that's the best thing is I'm going, we need it for everything. Okay, here's some more results. On the right-hand side are some different essential oils that you could consider putting with the castor oil to get better results or faster, quicker results. I know that I've been talking with people. One of the gals in our group, she's like, Haley, I use castor oil for everything. I have them for my knees, I have them for my fingers, I have them for my elbows. And she goes, she was one who's going, but I've never tried it on my face. And she goes, I'm so excited to be able to try it on my face. And she was on the other day when we gave a bunch of stuff away. And she's like, I can't wait to get it and try it on my face. So here's a few more testimonials. I slept much better. I'm also falling asleep more easily. My sleep has improved significantly. Didn't realize how much of a deeper sleep I could get. My sleep is continually improving and so good. I mean, isn't it great, you guys? So if people even get 1 hour better, right? That's an improvement. That's a huge improvement. Let's see. My son slept for the best he has in a long time. Revitazen, turmeric, and black pepper, along with castor oil, have already been helping me sleep better and stay regular. I've been enjoying more profound sleep. So you hear over and over and over some of the things that people talk about are the same. And the only thing that is is the same as the castor oil and them being very consistent with their use. You guys, if people are using something just once in a while, you're going to get a once in a while result, right? So if you do something, oh, I did it the other day for a minute, and or I tried it once for 2 days and I didn't really notice anything. Well, were you paying attention? And I think that when we're doing things like this, it's really important to take the time to say, okay, wait, I gotta, where's my pain right now in my knee on a scale from 1 to 10? And then for 5 days, use the castor oil, partner it with the oils that you choose, and then go, okay, in 5 days, okay, now where is my pain? And then go 5 more days and then go, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10. So what if we took your pain on your knee from a 10 to a 7? That's good. That's great results. What if then we take it from a 7 to a 6? Well, that's improvement. Like every single time is improvement. And then if you take 4 weeks off and you go traveling and you run a marathon and then you're going, well, it didn't really work. It's like, well, wait, you got to get back into that habit. And there are some habits, you guys, like castor oil is a part of my daily routine from now on. It's just, okay, where am I going to use it to get the best results? Okay, we're going to go real quick to a couple of things and then we're going to open it up for testimonials. You guys, I want to really share with you guys real quick. If you're watching this replay, depending on what time, this is December 2025. We just got our releases for the US. So 10% off adaptive soft gels. Adaptive 5 ml is your free. And then we talked a little bit before the recording started about our frankincense promotion. We also are in full swing of our holiday products. There are some items that are sold out. There's one, the wassail, which is not available quite yet. And then the vanilla lip balm, you guys, this was the number one item when we went to convention and got to try it in person. So don't hesitate, get them. And tomorrow night on our Tuesday night class, we will be going into each of these products a little deeper. But I wanted to highlight it here in case you guys can't make it tomorrow. Okay, and so now the winners are, but wait, first we're going to, let me see if this is going to work. Okay, so we're going to stop my share for a minute and we're going to go into more testimonials. So now I would love for you guys, I would love to invite you to come on and share some of your testimonials of using the castor oil, whether it was for the 30 days or the 15 days and what you experienced. Who wants to go first? Go ahead and raise your hand.
I was gonna say I do have two that meet there at sports.
Yeah,
Heidi Foy and Chelsea Demink.
yeah, let's go.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, so my kid's gonna finish basketball in like 2 minutes. So I was more prompted to start my castor oil kind of experiment by watching Sarah go through, I think it was like day 15, and I was like, what is going on? We have to try this. So I started my family on it. And the interesting thing was my kids, my husband, we all watched the videos, watched Sarah's videos, watched like all the things. And my family was interested in doing it. Like my son was like, let's try this. What is this going to do for us? And I was like, I don't know. Let's give it a shot. And so we are on like, I think that's what I was telling Sarah. Like we've only done it for 3 days. I don't know that we really have a whole lot to report. Um, I was telling her my kids and my husband are pretty incoherent when it comes to paying attention to what is going on with themselves, like if it's helped them or not. Um, so I don't know that it's really done a whole lot for them yet, or that they are just able to notice. But for me personally, I had a pretty massive surgery on my foot a year ago, and ever since then have just not been regular between the antibiotics and the rehab and all the extra things. So a year later, I feel like it's starting to help me, process my foods right. And my bowels are working. I told her that I think my bowels are starting to do their job because I'm feeling so much better and it's more regular now than I've been for at least a year. So I'm excited about what else is going to happen. I usually sleep pretty good, so that I haven't really noticed that, but I'm excited. I hope that my kids will start to see something for themselves too.
It's amazing. That's amazing. And, and consistency over time. And, when all of this was unfolding, I told Sarah, it's like, you know, out of all the turmoil and all of the stuff that is going on, there will be some good stuff. And part of this is, I know multiple kids who are watching going, oh my gosh, we got to do this, and he's doing it, I'm going to do it. So congratulations. And it's just going to get better from here. We're so happy that you got that result. So thank you for sharing with us. Okay, let's see. You said somebody else too.
Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I started this because Sarah said she was going to. So right away I noticed better sleep. I am a person that is a very light sleeper and I wake up 3 to 4 times a night. But with this, I did not. So I felt rested when I'd wake up, which is good. And then I did have a wart on my middle finger. I know that's disgusting, but it was there. And I was about to ask Sarah, I don't know if it was maybe like 15 days into the thing, I think. And I was going to ask her, what could I put on it to get rid of it? I just kind of have that virus that runs in me, and my oldest son does as well. And then I looked at it one day and I was like, oh my God, it just fell off, like the seeds and everything. And so I text Sarah and I was like, I'm not shooting you the finger, but it doesn't, this just fell off. Like, could it be the castor oil? And she was like, maybe. So I was pretty excited about that. And then I did have my son's, well, the little one's 4. So I got him to wear a patch for like an hour or so. He was in the ER for some neck pain. So we were trying to fix him up with that. And then my oldest son, because younger brother did it, we had to talk Keaton into doing it too. And then I did it just that one night and he was like, Mom, can you do that again? And he is the worst sleeper ever. I slept with him in a hotel during football and it was awful. I will never do that again. But I asked him the next day, I said, how'd you sleep? And he's like, I think I slept pretty good. And then I think I put it on him a couple nights ago too. When I did mine, he requested that I put it on him. So that's my testimony.
Amazing. So, Chelsea, I'm curious if you were using a essential oil with your castor oil or just castor oil.
I kind of did use an essential oil. It wasn't like every night using one. I know I used the adaptive, and then I did I do another one in there? I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah. The only reason I'm asking is if it had something to do with the wart. I'm
Oh,
going,
yeah.
yeah,
The-
what would have that been?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of was the castor oil because I wasn't putting anything on it.
Mhm.
And I was going to ask Sarah what I should have used, but then by that time it had come off. And I think at that time I was only using the castor oil.
Mm.
Yeah. And my skin has been, my hands and stuff, usually they're pretty dry right now. And I wash them all the time and everything because all the germs that are going around now. But they're not like they usually are. So I was telling my mom and my mother-in-law about it. So I might have them start doing it too.
Love it. I love that, you guys. It can be for our whole family. It's not something that we have to worry about is for only for old people or only for little people or, and we can put it on our skin topically. We can, just do so many and all different areas, it's not limited. And so thank you, Chelsea, so much for sharing that with us. We're excited for the wart to be gone. I had one of those when I started doTERRA too. And mine was On Guard. Like I just started taking On Guard on a regular basis. And then pretty soon, and I had done everything. I'd had it cut off, froze off, burned off, all the things. And it just kept coming back. And then all of a sudden it was just gone. And the only thing that changed was I started being really, I mean, I'm a doTERRA addict. And so that's the only thing I could chalk it up to. So, okay, thank you so much. Okay, you guys, who else? Who else has a testimonial for us? Wants to share? Tammy? Okay, Tammy?
Okay. Yikes. So I have done both Sarah's and started with Haley's. But you guys, when castor oil came out, I'm not one of those little beauty regimen person. My knowledge of castor oil was my grandma's castor oil. You're going to take it if you can't go potty or if you need to deliver a baby. So I was hadn't started using it since we got it at convention, but with Sarah's challenge and going ahead and listening and doing my own research to educate myself on the benefits of it, because a person can say whatever they want. Sometimes if we don't connect with them, we may not believe them, right? So I love that we have the access to research it ourselves. Anyway, long story short, I started with Sarah and I was putting it in my belly button every day. There might be a couple of disgusting pictures of my big belly with it in there, but I don't sleep either. And so what I did find is my sleep quality definitely improved. Now, something else I had come on and I said was, this is really weird because I feel like my hair is getting really greasy. And mind you, I'm only putting it in my belly button. Well, we know that we need to detox somewhere, right? And I was using castor oil and Zendocrine because I had a partial bottle left and I knew it was going to be replaced with Revitazen. But so for a few days, my hair felt really greasy, which I wash my hair every day, sometimes multiple times anyway. So it was kind of a weird thing for me. But I felt like my hair was releasing something, right? Some of the body oils or something. And then my sleep improved. And the greasy hair only lasted maybe the first, I don't know, 5 days or so, where I found myself showering multiple times again. But one thing else that I did kind of pay a little bit of attention to, because I read somebody talk about, okay, well, when you use the restroom, you may think that nothing's happening, right? And I know this might sound like a little too much information, but one of the ladies I was listening to said, notice the smell of your urine, just like when you used to take the vitamins and your urine would smell funny or something, or your bowel movements may change. And not only on a regularity, but if you're like most people, we get in the habit of kind of eating the same diet most of the time. Anyway, she said, you may not notice skin stuff, you may, but your smell of your urine and the smell of your bowel movements might change. Not that they might be worse, but it'll be something noticeable. And I had a couple of days where I experienced that also. So I knew things were moving and getting out. So that's the things I've experienced.
Well, in defense of Tammy's hair, she does work in a kitchen. And for her profession, she works in a kitchen. And you guys, so because you're putting it in your belly buttons, she's the first person I've heard come back with, could it be making my roots of my hair greasy? And Tammy's got this just absolutely gorgeous, thick brown hair. And she does work in a kitchen. So don't worry. Like I use it all the time and I haven't noticed any greasy in my hair. What I have noticed is how soft it is. And you can really tell the health of your body by like the texture of your hair. It will change. So if it gets super brittle and stuff, you might be dehydrated. And and I love the, just regularity and the smells that are coming from your body. And as it's detoxing and cleansing, really great stuff. All right, you guys, so who else has a testimonial, something they'd like to share?
I'll share.
Perfect, Kelly. Hi.
Hi. Tammy, thanks for pointing that out. My urine has smelled weird and I never connected the dots. So that's funny. I have a couple testimonials. My first one is I have a umbilical hernia. I've had it my entire life. But over the last couple of months, it's really been inflamed. And I even went to the doctor before the challenges started, and he wants me to go have it checked out by a surgeon. And so I'm like, oh, I've been putting it off and putting it off. But about 2 weeks ago, I noticed since I've been doing the castor oil, the swelling has gone way down. It was so swollen and inflamed. It was like as red as Rudolph's nose. And now it's back to normal skin color. I wish I would have took a before and after picture, and it doesn't hurt. It's not inflamed. So I'm excited to go see my doctor. I think I'll go see him in 2 weeks and tell him what I did. So, and then my other one is my son. When he started seeing Levi and Jeremiah do it, he was like, I'm going to do it. And he's been sleeping better every night since he started doing it. He missed 2 nights over Thanksgiving and he slept horrible those nights. So we got him back on track and everything's going good.
That's amazing. What oils is your son using, Kelly?
It varies. Mainly last night he did, what'd you do last night? Oh, Lang-a-Lang. He did Lang-a-Lang and I
Was
don't
it
remember.
myrrh, like the boys?
I don't remember what he did. Lang-a-Lang and something. Sometimes he does like geranium and juniper berry.
Lang and balance.
Oh, Lang-a-Lang and balance is what he did last night.
I love it. And I love how, when people are getting results or they're seeing other people doing it, doesn't matter if it's, how old they are, if they're rough and tough boys or, dancers or whatever it is. It's like, gosh, if they're doing it, then I want to try it. And the result is, gosh, I slept better, and then when I didn't use it, I noticed I didn't sleep as good. And so we get to choose our result, right? We get to choose what our experience is going to be. We get to customize what essential oils we're using, and we get to target the symptom or whatever we're going through. So whether it's digestion or pain or sleep or skin health, we can do whatever we need to for it. Kelly, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I love that about the hernia because you guys, hernias come at all ages, and all different ways and different things. And so why not be able to try it on that? So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay, you guys, who else has something they'd like to share? Or Sarah?
Tina, I think, needs to go as well. If you're
Okay.
okay with that.
Okay.
And I can't get my camera to work, and I'm super sad because I also did Sarah's challenge. Started with just the belly button and the Revitazen, and noticed immediately within a day or two that it really increased regularity, which was amazing and unusual for me. Um, and so I've been doing that. I also alternated it with a wrap during that time of the month. I'm premenopausal, so I have some pretty wretched days during the month and could not believe the amount of relief that I had from that. I used frankincense because it's always frankincense with me, and clary calm, and then also the Revitazen in the patch. Thursday night I fell and ended up with quite a bit of road rash on my face. I ran into Sarah Black Friday shopping, and she said, "You got to try the castor oil." And I said, "Okay." So I've been using the castor oil on it since Friday. I started right away when I got home. And I'm layering. So I'm layering Frank and then lavender and Healy, and then castor oil back on the top. And the scabbing is almost already gone on the road rash. So it has healed so quickly. And like I said, I wish I could get my camera to work so you could see. It was just really red and angry. Sarah can testify to that because she saw me Black Friday shopping. And now it just is real faded almost. You can barely see it.
Gosh, at first I thought it was because you ran into Sarah.
Right? It's because I ran into Sarah. She was like, "What happened to your face?"
You want that? I'm getting it. It's Black Friday. I get it.
Right. And then she showed me, and I saw Jeremiah too that day, and his eye looked so much better. It was just amazing. It's amazing what it'll do.
That's so cool. And so you said for your monthly cramps, you use clary calm or clary sage and frankincense.
Clary Sage.
Clary Sage. Yeah,
Yep.
you guys, I love it. I love being able to get this testimonial out here is because, there are some people who that monthly, terror is just awful. And if we can, and heat pack. So what I love about the oils too is it's like you can put the oil in the belly button across it with a pack. And then if you add heat, it's going to even take it deeper and give you more comfort and more support. And so, and heat, you guys can come from a hot washcloth that you wring out because that moisture is going to help lock in with the castor oil. And then heat, or you could do a heating pad, or, just all kinds of things. I have a friend who goes into her sauna, like she'll put the castor oil in the different areas that she wants it, whether it's knees or whatever, and then she'll go sit in the hot sauna, and she swears, she's like, it's just like magic. It's like it magically erases whatever's going on with my body right then. So Tina, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think it's amazing. And one thing that we can do, maybe Sarah, we could put her picture underneath the recording if she wants to let us do that. That would be great. And she did bring up Jeremiah, which I think, let's take a few more testimonials, and then I'd love for you to share some of the things for him. Karen, I saw you have your hand up if you want to go next.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, so I too have had, all of these wonderful results with the sleeping, with the regularity, with the skin. But my profound aha, this stuff is going to be the rest of my life moment is I have a very high respiratory sensitivity to a certain element, I'll say, to the point that it gets so bad I have to carry an EpiPen.
Marijuana.
Yeah, that. And, now it's legal in our area, and it's just, I mean, I'm running into it everywhere. And so probably about a week into the challenge, I kind of started wheezing. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put breathe in my belly button with the castor oil. And then I did the heating pad. The next morning I woke up, I wasn't wheezing. I'm like, okay, let's do this. About 3 more nights, and then I was at work and encountered that aroma, and I was right there and I could not get away from it. Had to interact for about a good 2 minutes. And when I was away from the situation, I turned to Haley and I go, nothing, maybe a slight pressure in my chest, nothing. Whereas 2 weeks ago, I might have been running for my EpiPen. So that is something I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Karen, that is just really profound. And I love that you were bringing up, being around something that she was having a allergic reaction to just by smelling it. And you would think, because I know she's used Breathe before, she's used Purify, she's used all these different things, she diffuses them in the air. And yet when she put it in her belly button, and so, it's like, okay, where's my body having stress? And what oil will best support it. And then what we found about is all of those nerve endings and that vagus nerve and all that quick delivery from the belly button to her senses where she needed it. Breathe. And then now she's going, gosh, what other oils could I put with it? So when we're blending or mixing oils for certain things, you guys, I want you to remember, like if you went to the doctor and you had toenail fungus and you had a ear infection and you had a sinus something, you're not going to get one thing for all of those different things. So when you're treating your body, especially when we're putting things in your belly button, we're not going to put everything that she has symptoms for in her belly button with castor oil and seal it off and expect it to go to everything, all different areas for all different reasons. So target what you want to work on most and then do that. So if she had, say, something going on, toenail fungus, she could put an essential oil with the castor oil, maybe on her cuticle, on her toenail, right? That's what I would do. And then she's got the respiratory thing. Well, then I'm going to go, gosh, do I want to put the respiratory pack on my nose? Well, not really. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my belly button with other oils that will be supportive, whether it's RX, whether it's Breathe, rosemary, peppermint. I mean, you guys, spearmint would be good, supermint would be good, and maybe some lime or Siberian fir, things that are going to all work together for a certain purpose. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. Thank you, Karen, for sharing that with us. Okay, I see Cassie has her hand up.
Okay, so I started the challenge with Sarah and I did the full 30-day challenge. I was using Revitazine on my belly button patch as well as the castor oil. And I think my number one is digestion. As long as I have known Sarah, which has been a few years, I have had digestion issue after issue after issue. It's always something, especially if I eat eggs. I have eaten eggs for breakfast every day, and I have not had any digestion issues eating them. I'm definitely more regular. And the first week I noticed using the castor oil, I was more gassy than I previously had been not using it. And I've never used castor oil before. But then that went away and I've had no issues since.
That's amazing. Wow. So good, right? And you guys, and so the results also, Cassie, did that just get better and better?
Yes.
And so what would your advice be to somebody who's brand new to essential oils, brand new to doTERRA, and digestive issues? What would you recommend?
To call Sarah. Sarah,
Call
is my
Sarah.
go-to for everything. Just call Sarah.
1-800-Sarah.
She fixes all of my problems. So she's my number one. If you have a question, just ask Sarah.
Yeah.
But
mean,
I think just to just try it. I mean, I've never tried anything that didn't work in some way. Even if it wasn't immediately on day one using it, it still worked.
It didn't hurt you.
No.
And I think that's one of the best things about doTERRA is even if Sarah gave you the wrong thing and said, hey, maybe we should try wild orange. And I mean, gosh, that'd be fun, try wild orange in your belly button with castor oil and just see what happens. Who knows? You might be super happy, but it's not going to hurt you, right? I
Right.
mean, and so I think that the confidence is that as long as you've been using doTERRA, you've been able to use it and get a result. No harm. So I think that's really, really good. Thank you, Cassie, so much for sharing that with us. That's really, really good to hear that. Okay, who else?
What's great about Cassie though, and I want to highlight this, is that she did not quit. So a normal person would say I'm super gassy and she'd be like, okay, what do you got? Well, of course, I'm a research queen. So I started researching. So without a colon, I'm comparing to someone that has all the parts. And so I did some research. So what's happening with the colon is it's going to produce gas when it's trying to get that excess out of your colon, because the colon can hold on to so much waste, you guys. It can just hold on to it onto those walls. And so what was happening is it was getting rid of it, everything that her colon had been holding on to for years and years and years, producing that gas. And because of the gas, we were trying to cleanse it all out. So with what was amazing about Cassie is she's like, okay, I'm not going to stop. A normal person would stop. Do not stop. Follow the process. There is a process to everything. Be patient with your body because it didn't take you overnight to get to this point to have no digestion. It took you years of treating it like crap. So let it do its thing. Give yourself grace. And that's what's great about Cassie is she literally gave herself and time. She was very patient.
Something you might be able to relate to easy is if you have a car and you're just driving it around and you're loving it, and all you do is continue to put oil in the car, always just put in more, just add more oil, and think after a year or so, there's going to be gunk that's all stuck on the sides and on the bottom and everything else. And even if we were to just take the bottom off and, just let it flow out and put it back on and put it more in, if we don't do a good cleanse and a flush, it's going to still be gunked up and it's not going to run good. And so same thing, it's like if our bodies have not been regulated right, and I talk to people sometimes, they're like, oh yeah, it's been 3 days. Since I've went, number 2. And I'm like, what? Like, what? You guys, that's not normal. So if that is you, or somebody that's like that, let's get them started. Like Cassie's going, it's like I did it for 30 straight days. And in 2 weeks in, I started really noticing something different, but I kept going and now it's even better. Like so I love it. So it's very, very educational and something that some people might go, oh yeah, that's nice. That was fun. And that's next testimonial. It's like, no, you don't, like Sarah's saying, there's more going on here that we need to know about and think about, because you will, if it's not you, you will run into somebody at some point that will be experiencing the same thing. And now Cassie has shared this with us. We'll be able to then pass it forward. And this is what I love so much about us gathering in these masterminds or these circles where we can, share all the things, because how many different things have you already heard about tonight about castor oil? And it's going to continue. All right, who's next, you guys?
I'm going to share something a little different. I did both challenges, and I didn't check in every day like I was supposed to and take a picture and all the stuff. But in the middle of it, I also did the Melissa challenge, which was doing Melissa on the roof of my mouth every hour for 12 hours, and then continuing after that. So that day, when I was done with those 12 hours, that's what I put in my belly button is Melissa. So I added that to the castor oil, and I'm a good sleeper, but I have to tell you, I was dead to the world. Like I slept so good that night. And the other night and like I said, I'm a good sleeper. Like I don't really have trouble sleeping. But the other one was, I was just listening to my body, listening to things that were happening around me. And I put peace in my belly button with my castor oil. And that was another night that I slept so soundly. It was just beautiful. So just thought I'd share that.
I think that's really, really good. And, as we are, putting out there that Melissa challenge that's in Good Vibes, maybe we'll do it at some point as a group and start all together or something, but it's 1 drop on your thumb and hold it in the roof of your mouth for 30 seconds for 12 hours straight. And then after that, kind of listen to yourself. Some people are doing 1 drop a day. Some people are doing 3 to 4 drops a day. I mean, everybody's bodies are different and our needs are different. And I love that Diane's then going, gosh, I'm going to just put it in my feeding tube, and continue to get the benefit of that at a longer pace, because with the thickness of castor oil and how long it stays topical-ish on our body, the longer it's going to be dripping, basically. It's like a little slow drip into our bodies of that Melissa. And now I'm also going to just kind of speak to adding peace to that. So you guys, what we know is everything that we put on our bodies goes into our bodies. And this is why we do so much education around toxic chemicals and things that can cause havoc in our bodies and our systems. And so when we're putting something directly in there, like peace, it's like, what is it that I want to solve? Like, what is my body upset or unhappy about right now? And what does it want to solve? And then what's the quickest, longest route, that little slow drip tube. And I actually love the idea of an IV just dripping in, and giving you that slow feed of peace of mind, peace of soul. And when we're talking about our belly area, I mean, that's our solar plexus. That is the center of our bodies. That's our who we are, how we show up, how our confidence and everything else. And so to be able to bring that peace is just, it's awesome. That's such a pretty, lovely, gosh, I don't know what to use. Oh, I think I'll use peace, right? What do I need right now? I want to feel more peace. Where do I want to feel it? My whole body. Right? I love that, Diane. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, you guys, who else has something that they'd like to share about the castor oil experience? Deb, you have your hand up?
I did Sarah's 30-day challenge, and the first week I didn't really notice anything change. From week 2 to last night, when I can go to sleep, because I still struggle with that, with my menopause and everything. I do sleep deeper, harder, and wake up just phenomenal. I got to where I was just doing strictly when I first started, I was for 2 weeks, I did strictly just the castor oil, no other oils with it. Then I started doing, because I heard her talking about the Revitazine, adding that. And I noticed from week 2 on that, like everybody else, I got more regular. I've stayed consistent with being regular. Never had that before in my life. Started when I take off the patch in the morning, start rubbing the excess oils into my lower belly, because I have stretch marks from both my kids from my pregnancies, and they have actually gotten softer. And I noticed this morning when I was getting dressed that instead of being white, they were starting to turn pink again. And I was like, oh wow, this is totally phenomenal. I suffer from extreme dry skin, have since I was a baby. I've noticed that with my hands, even the back of my hands are softer. I always, around my fingernail beds, they would start, especially my thumbs, they would start splitting and cracking. They're not doing that this year at all, this winter. And I am just so happy and thankful for that. And my hair, I haven't really done much with my hair because I'm not sure what to do for it and everything. But I've just enjoyed the whole feeling of this challenge. And I plan on continuing to do it.
It's amazing. So many good things. And, the just not having dry as skin, like that's a huge thing in itself. And being able to get that great result. I'm just curious, you guys, how many of you guys thought, oh gosh, 30 days, this bottle of oil isn't going to last that long, even though it's a pretty good size bottle, it's going to go away fast. And yet we still have a bunch left. It's like, that's one thing I'm going, I'll get mine, I'll pour it out and I'll put it on my husband. My son comes over and he gets it on him. And I just finished my first bottle after, gosh, we got it in September, and I'm now just finishing my first bottle of castor oil. So a little tiny bit goes a long ways, and there's a lot more in there than what you think. We can get a lot of applications and do a lot of different things with them. So anyhow, Deb, thanks for sharing that with us. Who else? Does anybody else have a testimonial that they'd like to share with us? We've had quite a few, I would say. It's been pretty full. So, Sarah, would you mind sharing your experience and Jeremiah's experience?
I will keep it together. Pretty emotional. So those of you that don't know me, and if you don't know me, oh my gosh, you're missing out. I'm a whole bucket of mess here. It's super fun to be with. So Jeremiah is our oldest. He's 10. They were playing golf in the pasture. We have a little golf course in our pasture. And they were playing, and his friend accidentally swung in the air instead of, he just kept swinging. They were playing Happy Gilmore apparently, and swung and hit him in the face and gave him an open skull fracture and an orbital skull fracture. And so he got rushed on a helicopter to Children's Medical in Denver and was seen by so many surgeons. It's not even funny. In fact, we're here in Denver. We're back here again. He sees the eye surgeon tomorrow to make sure he can see, and then he'll see his plastic surgeon on his birthday on the 3rd. And so it was an interesting journey because they immediately, when they admitted us, and when I pack, like you pack your necessities, right? Like a normal person. No, my necessities was my oils. It was my castor oil. It was my patches. Like you should have seen me. Like I was just putting stuff in a bag. And if you can know, you just like grab this off the counter. So there's no organization. So we get to the room, they admit us, and we're on a crappy cot together, Luke and I. And the first thing I set up my diffuser. And the first thing I get on him was that castor oil patch. And all these nurses were just like, we're really doing this. I said, absolutely. Like, this is going to happen. I know it works, and it's going to work time and time again. And to make a long story short, every nurse and doctor that came in was baffled about the smell, first off, because I was rotating with the diffuser, like what was going on with his mental health at that point. Is he in pain? Okay, we need to address this. Okay, is he having anxiety? There was just so many emotions between the three of us happening that it was a roller coaster in that room. And I cannot tell you how many they said we have not seen a 10-year-old react the way he's reacting to what's happening, after surgery, before surgery. He had 20 plus stitches. He had 16 numbing shots. Awake, this little boy did not cry once. So every little piece. And so when the first plastic surgeon saw him and he stitched him up before his surgery, and the next day he said, I want you to go ahead and use all your voodoo because I know you got it. Like, he just knew. I don't know if he could smell me. I'm not sure. And I said, okay, cool, because he's going to get it. And we started applying castor oil that night. He just had stitches. The next day he was going in for surgery, and he got out of surgery and they let me start applying it immediately. So he was getting the frankincense stick, the rose oil, and then the castor oil. And it is night and day. It is night and day. So on Monday, is today Monday? I don't know what today is. Monday. So today it's 2 weeks. He's been out of and they were baffled. They said, we cannot believe the healing. So they were very concerned with his retina detaching because there was so much trauma to the back of his eye as well. And it's healing beautifully. I'll be able to take pictures tomorrow. We have to take pictures daily for his chart for his Denver surgeon. And I sent him to Haley, and I just started sobbing because I could not explain it. There were no words for what was happening. Yes, he's a child. And so many people are like, well, he's 10. He's going to heal fast. Yes, but his hair's growing back. His red eyebrow is growing back. Like, there's no, and even the surgeon, she's like, he shouldn't be able to move his eyebrow. Like, there should be, and he's able to raise it up and down, and his nerves are coming back. So this is not just about, this isn't just about my family. This is about a product that showed up when nothing else was going to. This is about a product that when I could have doubted it, when I could have showed up to the hospital room without belly button patches and without the products and just said they're supposed to do their job, these products showed up for me and my family throughout this whole journey. And even today, he said, thanks, Mom, for making me handsome again, because he knew I wasn't going to allow it. And there was a big old joke, and Luke's like, chicks dig scars. And I said, not in this effing house, they don't. And he's not going to have a scar. He's going to look so freaking handsome. And he's going to look just like he did before he went into that surgery. So believe it. This isn't just a product. This is not just me talking about doTERRA essential oils. This is about believing. This is about a full-hearted belief, because it does work time and time again.
It's absolutely amazing. And sometimes, going through things, and you guys hear me talk about, okay, compare this side of your hand with this side of your hand, and oils and not oils and whatever. And it's like, who wants to know what it would have been like without oils? Right? And I can tell you multiple times when I've had one son specifically that, oils have been such a lifesaver in his journey. And when people are going, we're not even really sure how he's alive right now. And he's, there's been times when I thought, gosh, he's not going to walk again. Like, he'll never walk again. He's in a wheelchair, and, and here he is having a full life again. And is it just doTERRA and the oils? Freaking, I don't know, but I'm not going to risk not trying them or having them around. And you guys, this is probably one of the most important things you can do, is to empower yourself with the knowledge and education on what to do with what you have when you need it, or before you need it. So that, just like Sarah, she's like, okay, open up the drawer or the bag and just shove it all in the bag. We're taking it with us, and just start putting it on, and some of the like rose and frankincense. And, on one of the videos, because of course Sarah's at the hospital doing her night because that's what she's committed to. And then the next day and the next day, and pretty soon the kids are all doing it, and the kids are on the bed and on the couch and the sofa, and they're, the whole family's doing it. Luke's doing it. And it kind of became more of a, what, if mom's doing it, we're going to do it together. Like we're all here to do it together. And then kids are watching, Kelly's son's watching, and we're all listening and we're all learning and we're watching the journey of this miracle that's unfolding, and just another level of gratitude for what we have. And for Sarah to be able to say, look, I've got something. If you don't want to hear about it, that's fine, go away. Someone else is sitting there waiting and wanting to know and hear and learn. And the doctors and the nurses are going, wow, nothing else. Like, we can't believe our eyes. And it's like so much gratitude goes to, I'm going to say, back into doTERRA, our owners, their integrity of going to whatever ends it is to make sure that it's not contaminated. You guys, so on our classes, when we talk about CPTG, it's serious. Like, this is not your gas station essential oil that people are plugging into the wall to get a scent. These essential oils are health essential oils, ones that we use for way more than just to make our house smell pretty. And the benefit is that our house can smell pretty and our food can taste a little bit better. And we can use them in so many different ways, you guys. And castor oil is just like one of those things, right? It's just part of it. And now the more we learn and the more things that go on, the better, 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 better that it gets for us. So grateful for each one of you guys for coming and for sharing your experience and going through the 30 days, because what's easy to do is also easy not to do, right? It'd be easy to go, oh yeah, that, I didn't do it for 4 or 5 days. And just like, I think it was Diane who said, I didn't take the pictures, I didn't check in every single day, but she's in the background doing it. And she does study it and she does teach it and she does share it with people. And she knows personally the results of what doTERRA has done for her and her family and their life, And so then it becomes where you can't not talk about it. And so I saw Jeremiah with one of them, and he's like, I think it was the day you guys got home, and he was talking about, all the medications and things that you're on stops you up. It makes you so you're constipated. And he was like, and I used it in my belly button and I went 3 times, and how that's just so, and for some, it's like, oh, well, that's weird, whatever. And it's like, he's going, no, listen, like this really works. And that is something that is so, in some people's minds, so simple. And yet in the medical industry, it's a big deal, right? What goes in must come out. And we can help people with that. And sometimes it might not be the first thing that we try, Cassie, right? It might not be the second thing. It might be the fourth or fifth thing. And it might be, gosh, it took me doing it for like 30 days or 20 days for it to really start working before I got the result that I really needed. You guys are all amazing. I have a wheel. You guys, we've been here for over an hour. Should I do the wheel and post it up later? I can do it in Good Vibes, or do you want me to do the wheel now?
I'm going to do mine later on
Okay.
Blissfully Central.
You're going to do yours later? Okay. All right, you guys. So I will do mine too. So we've got winners. I want to give away some prizes. I will post them. I'll do a video and I'll put it up underneath this with a link. And then Sarah can do hers. And I just want to once again, you guys, thank you so much for being a part of our Good Vibes tribe. Every time you ask a question, it helps inspire us to answer. It helps other people give different ways or different perspectives or their journeys. Every person here tonight has something completely different that they were talking about. Even though we had a lot of people go, oh, we sleep and digestion, but there's so many things, and it takes all of us. And so we appreciate you guys for showing up. Happy December. Yeah, happy December. There's a lot of really great promotions, and frankincense has come into the house. I know it's a favorite of many. If you guys are curious on how you can get it for free, if you don't know, reach out to the person who asked you. All right, we will see you next time, you guys. Thanks again for joining.
Thank you, guys.